day. I'm really worried if I would go into what I have prepared already because of the current problem we have personally concerning where we are in tech. This is actually very technical, or should I go the other way of helping many of us here still discover the way or how to do it and how to do it better? But before I start, I would really love to celebrate and thank the convener, Samuel Uche, and the CTO, Elijah, and also my wonderful fellow speakers and the beautiful moderators. The great aspect of them is, it's not easy to, excellent. So you on Cap, what's your favorite product? Yeah. What's your favorite software product or app?
VS Code ID.
Okay, VS Code. Interesting. So you, what's your favorite product? Thank God. ChatGPT is excellent. So probably we might be capturing some of those products on our case studies while we are in this presentation. So that's it. I'll start from strategy. What is strategy actually, and why is product strategy important? Strategy is about making decisions under uncertainty. That's the shortest version of strategy. Why do you need to strategize? Why do you need a strategy? Why don't you just go ahead and do stuff? It's because there are a lot of uncertainties, and in this product context, it could be uncertainties concerning we don't know what the users want. We don't know if the market will love this. We don't know how this product will make money. We don't know how to push this product, and that's the need for the strategy. So by the end of this presentation, we'll be able to understand why strategy is crucial to product development, I probably would turn you into a product expert by the end of this session if you listen properly, and then you also learn how to be able to build great products. What's the first thing? You need to understand the consumer mindset, and this is important for everyone. Either you're a developer, designer, manager, UI, UX, wherever you are. It's very, very important that you are a product person first, because that matters in the products you are building, or else probably spend a long time figuring out what works. So we start understanding the consumer mindset. You start with people, not products. Now we want to build a product, but that product you want to build, what do people feel or think about that product? What do they want? How would they like it to be? When I was building, or when I started building, one very popular advice we get from investors and advisors is always talk to customers. I'm going to tell you the same thing, but guess what? A lot of us won't still do it until you probably learn. Always talk to customers. We are poor. 5 people are sharing one Netflix. 4 people are sharing CapCuts. We can't even buy subscriptions, right? So the market is that bad. However, all of us here are paying subscriptions for MTN. 3 of us. We are buying data. Either weekly, some people daily, monthly, yearly. Apart from food, data probably have the highest cost on your bank account.
Yep, you're right.
So that points us to how are these guys doing it. So you see that they really went deep. You know when they are reviewing their data plans, there was a time they touched 500 for 2.5 GB. They moved to 600. People started crying. And that's moving back. So what I'm trying to say is that MTN, they have engineered their offers. In fact, the current offer they have now on their app wasn't what was there when they reviewed their prices. They will look at the data. I can't waste data today. They look at the data and they'll be like, okay, what are users buying? What are the most current plans? In fact, MTN, these guys are able. So I'm buying the current data plan, which is about 54 GB. They are selling advertising to me the one of 112 GB. Because they know, they understand me. They know that I buy 54 GB and it doesn't last for 1 month. So they are not advertising. If I open my phone, my notifications, but probably once a day. They are advertising for me 112 GB for 1 month. Because they have read my consumption. That is understanding customer mindsets. This will save you years and years of trial and error. For me to build a product now, I prefer spending 1 year on this alone. Who wins is not who has the best product, but who understands the customer the best. It's not who has the best company. But again, you can't have the best product without understanding the customer best. Thank you very much. So let's go to the next one. Alright, so diagnosing the right problem, clarity before code. A lot of us are the blue pass. As I said as well, you are quick to go into coding because that's what you know how to do. However, if you ask people above you, see that they have done that iterations a lot of times. You think this is a good idea because you can code, just start coding overnight. In fact, in 24 hours, you have taught something. But that will remain on your VS Code. It soon goes to the market, right? Because what are you doing? You are putting code before clarity. So now that you understand consumer mindset, the next point is diagnosing the right problem. And what's that? When I tell you, okay, the problem, for example, let's say, I don't use MTN as a case study. Let's use Keeper. Thank you. We have businesses here. A lot of us don't know what Keeper is. Keeper is a failed startup. They shut down about 2 years ago. And they were servicing SMEs. And what I mean by that is small businesses. And what I mean by that is people that sell markets. Whatever you're selling, you're SME. So if you're servicing SMEs, you're helping them with accounting. So case study, Chowdeck. How many of you have heard of Chowdeck? If you're in Lagos, you probably know Chowdeck very, very well. Chowdeck is a food delivery company in Lagos. And they came to solve a problem in 2021. If you can read up the stories on YouTube. But Chowdeck has done an amazing job in last mile delivery and logistics. Because around food. Because they really understood the problem. You know that the problem wasn't that people were not ordering online. The problem was that there was inefficiency in delivery. Logistics is one of the hardest businesses in Nigeria. Why? Bad roads, number one. Number two, bad roads in Lagos. You can impound your vehicle, your bike. Number three, high cost of repairs. It's very capital intensive. So, what did Chowdeck do? Chowdeck took all those problems for their vendors and we are managing it themselves. So, all you need to do as a vendor is to list your kitchen, list your menu, and forget about delivery. What an amazing product. Let's go to the next one. Alright, so from insights to requirements about the idea, you understand customers around it, and then you have figured out what are the necessary things that you need to build in terms of the actual problem, and now you know the right problem. So the next one is forming the features. Forming the features. And I love these case studies. One is Carrywise and one is Uber. If it is who use Carrywise here, there are a lot of features in Carrywise and Piggyvest that helps you in managing your money. And you want to understand how much of an engineering and excellent user experience there is until you try to compare what Carrywise is doing locally. Carrywise is agile as we know it. That is putting in money to these guys and then they give interest and stuff. But it takes a lot of intentionality and hard work to do that online. In fact, we have a lot of bank accounts. Probably every one of us here must have more than 2 bank accounts. So why not we use one of those bank accounts for that? It's because of that real power. Now, if you save, after saving money will save you tomorrow, right?
Yes, nah.
So that means you don't have that, real power to keep that money there to give that interest. And Carrywise did a lot of engineering to get that done. Uber as well, amazing case study on forming requirements concerning how drivers respond, how users utilize, communicate drivers and stuff like that. And again, you won't understand this until you try to logically analyze how will people feel comfortable on entering a stranger's car that you don't know from anywhere. That's the magic of engineering. Last slide. I'm running, there's no time. Next one, please. Alright, so finally, this should be one of the last slides. So, when you build out those features, the next thing is testing, iteration, and launch. I'll skip the testing and iteration part. So, those are parts you test out the product, get feedback, review, iterate, and store. Then, build fast, learn faster, MVP thinking, leave feedback loops. Okay, I don't have time, I'm just rushing. So we have prototyping tools, all those. Iterations is non-negotiable. Yeah, iteration is really non-negotiable. And because as case studies, WhatsApp as we know it, and someone mentioned WhatsApp is one of your favorite products. You know that WhatsApp kind of releases features and updates like every week now. You just wake up, WhatsApp has changed. What do you mean you guys status to update? Who needs channel? Why is my status on horizontal way? So what are they doing? They are testing and they have rapid iteration, and that's why they often win. Because once you are learning from the market and you are testing and iterating, you end up getting your product to where customers love. And in fact, when we first launched Food, that was when the main work started. I thought the main work was in features, engineering, managing the products, even though we had a lot of App Store and Play Store, until you launch. That's when you now see users use your app the way you didn't intend for. So launch is very, very important, and you're supposed to, that's when you now know you need agile engineering team. So finally, I want to give a brief AI outlook in product strategy or product management. And I said here that human insight still matters. And why is that? And as one of our speakers said in the panel session, AI is not really creative, it's generative. And what does that mean? AI cannot create what doesn't exist. If you study the underlying infrastructure and how AI is built, you learn that everything AI is giving you, including ChatGPT, whatever it is an information that is being fed with already. However, humans still remain the only people that can create something out of existence. So anywhere you are, you should really be tapping into your creative power. And what is that? Those could be true cues, true bets, and true intuitions. All right, thank you very much.